Whatever it is, the channel, the business, the thing you keep opening a new tab for and then immediately closing. You've been sitting with it for months, maybe longer, and nothing has happened. Not because you can't do it, but because you just haven't started. That's what this video is about. Here's what I think happens. You get an idea, and it feels good at first, like genuinely quite exciting. You can picture it. You can almost feel what it would be like to actually do the thing. And then your brain kicks in. What if people think it's stupid? What if it doesn't work? What if I put everything into this and it goes nowhere? And just like that, the excitement dies. Not because the idea was bad, but because you let the questions pile up until they buried it. That's called overthinking. And the frustrating thing about it is, it feels productive. It feels like you're being responsible, like you're planning. But there's a point where planning becomes hiding, where I'm not quite ready yet becomes a permanent address that you just live at. And the right time never actually comes. Of course it doesn't, because the right time isn't a real thing. It's just a story that you tell yourself to justify staying comfortable. I'm not saying that to be harsh. I'm saying it because I've told myself the same story more than once. Let me be specific, because I think vague pep talk doesn't actually help anyone. You want to start a YouTube channel. You've thought about the name. Maybe you've thought about the niche. You've watched 100 videos about how to grow on YouTube in 2026 or whatever the year is that you're watching this. You've got a list of video ideas somewhere, a note on your phone, a document you've opened once and never actually come back to. Maybe you've even recorded something. You sat down, you filmed it, and then you watched it back and thought, no, not yet. I need better lighting, or I need to sound better. I need more knowledge. I need to look like I know what I'm doing. So you've deleted it, or you saved it in a folder that you've never looked at since. Does that sound familiar? Or maybe it's not a YouTube channel. Maybe it's a business idea you've been sitting. A conversation you need to have. A creative project, something you feel genuinely cool to do, but you keep finding reasons why now isn't the right time. And underneath all of it, if you're honest, and I think you are, or you wouldn't be watching this, underneath all of it is one thing. You're scared of what people will think. Not failure, really. The judgment. You're scared that someone you know is going to see it and they'll find it cringe. Or they'll tell people. That people from your past are going to find it and laugh. That you're going to put something real out into the world and somebody is going to look at it and decide you're ridiculous for trying. I know that feeling. That specific kind of dread. It's not abstract. It has faces. It's specific people that you're imagining. And that's what makes it so paralyzing. When I started this channel, I was not confident. I want to be clear about that because I think that's what matters. I wasn't sitting here thinking, yeah, I've got this figured out. Let me share my wisdom. That's not what this is. I had an idea. I sat with it for longer than I should have. I second guessed the whole thing. I thought about who it might find. I thought about whether I had anything worth saying. And then I posted anyway. Not because I felt ready. I didn't feel ready. But because I realised that waiting to feel ready was just another version of never actually doing it. The readiness wasn't coming. It was never going to arrive on its own. And here's what happened. Nothing catastrophic. The world didn't end. The people I was worried about, most of them didn't even notice. And the ones who did, it was fine. It was genuinely fine. I'm still learning how to do this. Every video I make, I'm figuring something out. That's not me being modest. That's just the truth. This channel is a work in progress. I am a work in progress. But at least it exists. At least I started. That's the only reason I can sit here and talk to you about this. Because I made the decision to begin. Let me tell you a few things that I think will actually help. First of all, nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. And I know that sounds blunt, but it's true. The people you're afraid of judging you, they're busy. They're wrapped up in their own lives, their own insecurities, their own fear of judgment. You are not at the centre of their attention, and you never were. The audience you're performing for, in your head, doesn't exist the way you think it does. Second of all, everyone, and I mean everyone, starts at zero. Every person that you look up to, every creator, every entrepreneur, every person doing something that seems effortless now, had a first video, a first post, a first awkward attempt. They didn't start good. They just started. And they kept going until they got better. There is no shortcut past this. You don't get to skip the beginning or the prologue. Third, you do not learn by thinking. You learn by doing. All the research, all the planning, all the preparation in the world, none of it teaches you what actually shipping something teaches you. The only way to get better at this is to do it badly at first and then do it again. That's it. That is the whole process. Action is the teacher. Thinking is just the waiting room. I want to push back on something. The idea that you need to feel confident before you start. Confidence doesn't come before the action. It comes after. It's built by doing the thing you were scared to do and surviving it. You don't feel your way into starting. You start your way into feeling. You don't need a better camera. You don't need a perfect setup. You don't need to know exactly where this is going. You need to make one thing and put it out. That's it. Just one thing. Because here's what happens when you do. The fear itself actually shrinks. Not immediately and not completely, but it shrinks. Every time you act in spite of it, you take a little bit of its power away. And over time, the version of you that acts becomes the default version. But you have to give it the chance to become that. You're not waiting for the right time. You're waiting for yourself to give yourself permission. So just give it. I want to say something, and I want to say it carefully. I'm not going to try and turn this into a Bible study because that's not what this channel is. But I do believe this. You were not made to live controlled by fear. That's not what your life is supposed to be. The version of you that plays it safe forever, that keeps the idea in a draft folder, that never takes the risk. I don't think that's the fullest version of who you're supposed to be. There's a reason fear of wasting your life feels so heavy. I think it's because there's something in you that knows you are meant for more than staying comfortable. Jesus didn't sacrifice everything so we could shrink back from the lives we're supposed to live. That might sound like a big theological jump from start a YouTube channel, and maybe it is, but I think it scales. Purpose matters. Using what you've been given matters. Not hiding it because you're afraid of what someone might think. That's all I'll say about that, but I mean it. If you've been sitting on something, this is your sign. Not because I said it, but because you already knew it before you clicked on this video and before you even heard my voice. You didn't come here by accident. You came here because part of you is tired of waiting. You don't need more time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need it to be perfect. It won't be, and that's fine. The first version of anything is never the best version. It's just the necessary version. Take the first step. Record the video. Write the first post and send the email. Whatever it is, just begin. Let it be rough. Let it be imperfect. Just let it be real. That's actually more valuable than something polished and hollow. Real beats perfect. Every time. I'm still learning this too. I'm not standing here as someone who has it all figured out. This channel is part of me trying to live that out. To actually do the thing instead of just thinking about it. Every video I make is me deciding again. Deciding to show up. Deciding to be honest. And deciding to not let the fear win that day. It's not easy. But it's always worth it. The journey starts with one decision. Not 10 decisions. Not a perfect plan. Not the right moment. One decision. You can make that decision today.